Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said great. I'm doing great. We are having fun today. We are, surprisingly, this is going to sound crazy, but we are going to see the Los Angeles Police Museum, and they have some of the most interesting artifacts in any museum in town, and I've never been here. I couldn't believe when I found out some of the things they had, so we're going to explore this for the first time together. Daze with Jordan the Lion, you all in Los Angeles begins now. This used to be old police station number 19, it looks like. As soon as we walk in, they told me they have 3 floors. And this is a SWAT battering ram. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm seeing. They have the picture of the Manson girls, and then they have moved the jails that they were in into here, and you can actually go in. I don't think Scott Michaels knows about this, or he would have lost his mind. Holy cow. This is incredible. Wow. Heck, we gotta walk in, don't we? The 3 girls, I mean, saw that police officer, I forgot. She just brought the photo. Wow, we're standing in the cell. Now let's go see the other one. Wow. I'm kind of surprised they would keep them side by side. You know, you'd think that they would probably like talk or share information or whatever, but wow, that's crazy. Woo! What a way to kick off the tour. Here you can see some police. Some television police history, Dragnet. Yeah, we should see something involving Elizabeth Short as well, I would think. These are all photos from the Watts riots, or what they call the Watts Rebellion. So it was the largest series of riots, broke out on August 11th, 1965, in predominantly black neighborhoods of Los Angeles. Lasted 6 days and resulted in 34 deaths. Injured over 1,000 people, and they had 4,000 arrests. The Northridge earthquake was really famous. That's the one where I remember going and visiting Carl Reiner's stuff, and he had to repair all of his Emmy Awards, or a lot of them, because they'd fallen. Said he didn't mind. He said he kind of liked them having a story like that now. They've been through something. And then this is apparently the locks and keys throughout the years. I'm seeing more famous jail cells in here with people in them. With the restraints. I didn't really recognize him, so I went to ask whose cells these were, and they said actually it's just kind of like meant to be a display of someone in the cell, just in various different types of cells. So this one you can see there's like writing on it and everything. And they have several others. Notorious Superior Court cases. You can see OJ, Richard Ramirez, Manson, the Menendez brothers, lots of famous ones. Here are photos and evidence from the Manson case, the Sharon Tate murders, original Polaroids. Actually, Scott Michaels was telling me that that door is up for auction again very soon. This is all police evidence. Their Beatles album. Look at this. The knife sticking out of the chair. Tex Watson letter. Those are Tex Watson's, Charles Tex Watson's fingerprints. This is for the onion fields. Very, very famous case out here in Los Angeles. Scott Michaels and I have talked about this. It was they kidnapped and murdered some LA police officers, took them all the way out, many miles outside of town. And this exhibit has the sweatshirt worn by the suspect, Gregory Powell, the flashlight from the murder scene, the booking photo of one of the men involved, Jimmy Lee Smith. They have some bullet casings over here. And these are crime scene photos that they also added. They also have the gun, Powell's gun. Here's the booking photo of Richard Ramirez, and then they also have the warrant. They've got him checked for was used as the means of committing a felony, is evidence which tends to show that a felony has been committed. Here's a collection of various different handcuffs throughout time that they've used. That little thing that you would have sat on to take your booking photo. Then probably the telephone calls area. That's what would have taken your photo right there. Heading upstairs, second floor. For you Adam 12 fans, here you go. I honestly never watched the show, so when people ask me to do a video, I can't because I don't know anything about it. But here you go. Martin Milner's costume from the show and his gun. The sirens from their car right there. That's cool. And then Kent McCord, his costume with his billy club from the show. But yeah, it's the whole costume, complete uniform. Can't forget Joe Friday, and they didn't. They got his police badge from Dragnet. That's awesome. Isn't that cool? The one that he would carry around. There's Harry Morgan's. William Gannon. Yeah, that is so cool to see all this and some of the scripts. Here in this room they show a lot of really historic police uniforms. There's your billy club and your badges and everything. Hat. The earliest stuff. And then look at all these. Good for the women. They better have something about Police Academy in here. Oh, here's the Patty Hearst room. Nancy Ling Perry. Donald D. Freeze. And there's Patricia Hearst. Remember that robbery? This says The Closet. For the first 4.5 weeks of her captivity, the 5'2" Patricia Hearst was kept blindfolded, bound, and gagged in an unventilated closet that was just 24 inches wide and 66 inches long. When her captors decided to switch houses, moving from Daly City to San Francisco, Hearst was placed in a covered plastic garbage can and moved to the new location where she was confined for another 3.5 weeks in an even smaller closet that was just 19 inches wide and 60 inches long. During this time, she was assaulted, deprived of sleep, light, fresh air, exercise, and proper food. She was forced to strip and bathe in front of the SLA members, both men and women. She was repeatedly threatened with death and relentlessly and loudly indoctrinated in the radical politics and beliefs of her gun-toting captors. In all, she spent 57 days under those conditions, constantly berated and abused. When she was finally unbound and blindfold removed, she was too weak to even stand on her own and unable to focus her eyes. Her weight had dropped to 95 pounds. Now they basically have the whole timeline worked out here as to what happened. But crazy enough, they actually have all the weapons. That's Patty Hearst's rifle right there, the big one right there in the center from that famous photo. This one's Donald DeFreeze's. Wow, that's crazy to see after all this time. A couple other guns. It says in total, 4 converted M1 rifles were recovered. A 5th auto-loading rifle, commonly referred to as a BAR in caliber .30-06, was also recovered. Wow. Here's that famous gun. Wow. Recovered in May of 1974, warrant served at the hideout of the SLA in Newton Division. And right here they have the SLA pipe bombs from evidence. You can see the construction of it and everything. And they even have like the battery and all that stuff back here. So this shows 3 guns that were smuggled into the jail by a man named Gregory Powell. He had them smuggled in through a typewriter that was going to an attorney's office. When the typewriter was inspected, they found the guns, and they first arrested the person who brought the typewriter, and then they found out, you know, how exactly that person didn't know they were in there. They weren't the normal person that would have delivered things, and Gregory Powell was found to be responsible, but they said that this was done. The typewriter had been requested and ordered just the day after Senator Robert Kennedy's killer, Sirhan Sirhan, had arrived at the jail. This was a diagram they made at the time, the onion fields, for evidence in the onion fields showing where the shots would have come from and what direction. And you can notice right above his lip, there's one right there too. It says the reason that they did this was because this showed that there was no other way he could have been killed other than while laying defenseless and on his back. It says these are the actual handguns that were used to shoot the officer in the onion fields killing Ian Campbell. It's crazy where I used to live when I lived in Hollywood. Right around the next street over had a sign for Ian Campbell, and I always wondered who that was. And then when I was walking by there with Scott one day, I said something about it. He goes, "Oh, that's the officer that was killed in the onion fields killing." Said he pulled someone over right here, and then they kidnapped him and took him up north. And here's the book about it. kidnapped him in Hollywood and drove him all the way out to Bakersfield. Here was their license plate. You can see the 1963 up there. And receipt from that night. And that little swatch, that black swatch, is evidence that they found at the crime scene. You can see it right there. He's pointing to it. Oh, and this was really famous, the North Hollywood shootout. They went to rob a bank and like, the police could not stop them. February 28, 1997, day of both extreme terror and unforgettable courage as LAPD officers engaged 2 takeover robbery suspects, both wearing full body armor, armed with AK-47 assault rifles, and a running gun battle which would leave 9 police officers and 3 civilians shot. As you look to your left, you witness the 2 suspects leave the bank and begin one of the most prolonged and shocking gun battles in history of this country. Those are the actual clothes that they were wearing. You can find footage of this, and if you go out to, it's a little too detailed and not really the kind of stuff I like to vlog, but if you were the type of person that would, you can go out and there's still bullet holes and stuff in the sidewalks and curbs and stuff from this shootout. I've seen photos people have sent me. Wow, that's amazing that they were able to do so much damage and destruction for just 2 men. Their passport, checks, bag full of ammo and guns. And then you got the gun just pointed right at us. Those are the 2 that did it, the suspects. They have to call them suspects because they did end up killing them, so they couldn't try them. Here's some more of the guns and ammunition that they seized. Larry Phillips walkie-talkie. This was recovered from the Jeep that they had taken there. There's actually a photo in there of them looking inside the Jeep. And then just more and more guns and ammo from that shootout. Here you can see the damage done to the police cars that day. That is one of the police doors from the North Hollywood shootout. You can see some of the bullet holes in it. The 3rd floor just kind of has a timeline of notable, you know, crimes and things throughout the history of the police department, and then it also has like what the weapons they use now are. So we're gonna go see the outside section because I think they have some vehicles. I kind of came here hoping to see the Bugsy Siegel bullets. I know they have them. I'll have to ask. I haven't seen them yet. I wonder if they're not on display anymore or what. Oh wow. Let's see what they got. Holy cow. Yeah, you don't want that coming after your building. The rescue vehicle. Woo! Oh cool, you can even see inside. This reminds me of the guy out there in Colorado that built one of these out of a bulldozer and just destroyed the town. I didn't know if they had the Jeep or not from the shootout that they recovered the guns. I don't think they do, but they do have one of the cars that was really shot up from the shootout. You can see that right here. All of the glass is gone. They've had to put like chicken wire over it to make sure nobody probably hurts themselves. Blew out the tires. And look at the back of it. Holy smoke. And then here's the police car. The whole side of it just riddled with bullets. Airbags deployed. And a bomb squad vehicle. Got an old Delray police car. With the sirens, the lights and everything still. Is that a Duster? Plymouth? Over here you can actually get up inside of a police helicopter. It's kind of interesting. And over here they have the armored truck and a really old police vehicle. '29 Ford Model A. So we just wrapped up the tour. I was kind of hoping to see the Bugsy Siegel bullets, but I realized the show that I saw it on was a few years old, and sometimes those things get recirculated, and they weren't in here. So I asked, and they said, yeah, the guy working here said I've been here for a year, and they haven't been on display in that time, but he said, we're always changing the displays and stuff. He said, we're actually right now working on a Black Dahlia display that will be next. So couldn't see the Bugsy bullets, but maybe in the future, now that I've mentioned it. And if you're in the area, keep an eye out for the Elizabeth Short Black Dahlia exhibit they'll be doing. We'll have to come back and check that out when they do it. Kind of some crazy souvenir shop stuff. Look at that. A bulletproof vest for your beer. That was a really great exhibit. I wasn't quite sure what all they would have. I mean, you can't possibly cover everything that's notable in LA history. I mean, you got the Robert Blake stuff, the OJ stuff, you've got things throughout time. So they just can't show everything. So a little bummed I didn't see the bullets that were shot into Bugsy Siegel's house that he was in at the night that he was killed. But, you know, I loved what they did show. Showing the Patty Hearst gun, things like that. What I assume is the Manson girls cell. It didn't say otherwise, and that's all that was there. So come check it out. It was, I think, $10 admission, but well worth it. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time. Have a great night, and goodbye.